She was a talented 19-year-old with dreams, music, and a future full of promise. One ordinary night, that future was stolen by someone she once trusted. What police uncovered next revealed obsession, betrayal, and pure evil. Stay with us, and subscribe, to uncover the chilling true crime story that still haunts a community. Jessie Blodgett was a bright, creative, and compassionate young woman with a deep love for the arts. At just 19 years old, she was a college student with dreams of building a future in theater and performance. Jessie was known for her passion for acting, singing, and stage production, often participating in school plays and local performances. Friends described her as talented, hardworking, and full of life. Beyond her artistic abilities, Jessie was a devoted daughter and sister. Family was central to her world, and she maintained close relationships with her parents and siblings. Those who knew her say she had a kind heart and a positive spirit, always willing to help others and encourage those around her. Jessie worked part-time at the Lowe's Danbury Movie Theater in Connecticut while attending college. The job helped support her studies and allowed her to stay connected to her community. She was responsible, reliable, and trusted by her coworkers and supervisors. To her family and friends, Jessie represented hope, ambition, and promise. She had her entire life ahead of her, filled with plans, creativity, and dreams yet to be realized. Her sudden disappearance and tragic death not only shattered her family but deeply affected the wider community, turning her story into a painful reminder of how quickly innocence can be stolen and how devastating betrayal can be. The weekend of July 14, 2013, was supposed to be one of the happiest times in Jessie Blodgett's young life. Jessie had just performed in Fiddler on the Roof, a production that was a major success. The show played to a full audience, and the cast received enthusiastic applause, celebrating months of hard work and dedication. For Jessie, theater was not just a hobby, it was her passion, and this performance marked a proud moment in her journey. After the final show, the cast gathered to celebrate. Smiles filled the room as friends laughed, hugged, and shared memories of the production. Later, Jessie attended a pool party, where photos and videos captured her joy, energy, and excitement. She looked happy, relaxed, and full of life. These images and recordings would later become painful reminders for her family, showing Jessie just hours before everything changed. There were no visible signs of fear or distress, only a young woman enjoying success, friendship, and the promise of what lay ahead. That joyful weekend now stands in stark contrast to the tragedy that followed, marking the last time Jessie was truly seen happy and free. After returning home from the cast celebration and pool party, Jessie shared something deeply unsettling with her mother. She described an uncomfortable interaction involving a coworker who had tried to pull her onto his lap. Jessie made it clear that the moment felt wrong and crossed a boundary. Though shaken, she did not appear panicked. Instead, she spoke with clarity and honesty, trusting her mother with what had happened. That same night, Jessie wrote about the incident in her diary. In her entry, she reflected on how platonic feelings were being pushed into something sexual, something she neither wanted nor invited. Her words showed self-awareness and strength. Jessie acknowledged the discomfort and resolved to address the situation directly, writing that she would confront the problem without fear. Later that night, Jessie went to bed. It was the last known moment she was alive, a quiet and ordinary ending to a day filled with both joy and unease. No one could have imagined that her courage, honesty, and intention to speak up would never get the chance to be fulfilled. That final entry now stands as a heartbreaking reminder of warning signs that were only understood too late. The next morning, Jessie's mother became concerned when she didn't hear any movement from Jessie's room. Later that afternoon, when Jessie's piano student arrived, the silence felt unusual. Jessie was always punctual and responsible, and her absence immediately raised alarm. Her mother went to Jessie's bedroom, and what she found was devastating. Jessie was lying perfectly still on her bed, her body neatly covered with a blanket, as if someone had carefully arranged the scene. There were no signs of struggle in the room. Jessie's body was cold to the touch, and her skin had begun to turn blue, clear signs that she had been dead for some time. In shock and panic, her mother placed a 911 call, her voice trembling as she described what she was seeing. Emergency responders arrived quickly, but it was already too late. Jessie was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators immediately noted suspicious circumstances. The lack of forced entry, the careful positioning of the body, and early indications of strangulation suggested that Jessie had known her killer. What began as a quiet morning inside a family home had turned into the discovery of a brutal and calculated crime, one that would soon reveal a horrifying betrayal. Investigators quickly realized that Jessie's bedroom was not the scene of a random crime. Police also documented abrasions on Jessie's wrists and ankles, suggesting she had been restrained at some point before her death. What disturbed investigators most was how the scene appeared to be carefully staged. Jessie's body had been washed and neatly positioned on the bed, then covered with a blanket. Behavior consistent with someone trying to conceal the violence of the crime. Under the bed, detectives found tape that did not belong to the household, further raising suspicion. There were no signs of forced entry anywhere in the home. Doors and windows were intact, indicating Jessie likely knew her killer and willingly allowed them inside. The estimated time of death was around 9 a.m., during a window when Jessie was expected to be alone. Police concluded that the killer was someone familiar with the house, understood the family's daily routine, and was confident Jessie would be home alone. These details pointed toward a calculated act, not chance, but opportunity, narrowing the focus to someone Jessie trusted. In the early days of the investigation, the town of Hartford was gripped by shock and fear. Police quickly addressed public concern, issuing a statement that there was no ongoing threat to the community, suggesting the crime was targeted rather than random. Investigators began by questioning cast members from the recent theater production, as well as Jessie's co-workers and close friends. Each potential lead was carefully examined, cell phone records were analyzed to verify alibis, and timelines were reconstructed to determine who could or could not have been present at the time of Jessie's death. One by one, suspects were eliminated. Friends were cleared after confirming their whereabouts, and co-workers who had interacted with Jessie were ruled out through verified alibis. Workplace connections were thoroughly reviewed, with no evidence linking them to the crime scene. As the list of possible suspects narrowed, investigators became increasingly certain that the killer was someone who had planned the crime carefully, someone who knew Jessie's routine and had deliberately chosen the right moment to act. During the investigation, police uncovered a disturbing parallel attack that occurred nearby in Richfield Park. A woman named Melissa reported being attacked with a knife, narrowly escaping with her life. Unlike Jessie's case, Melissa survived, and her account became critical. She provided a strong eyewitness description of her attacker and, most importantly, remembered the vehicle involved, a dark blue Dodge Caravan. This detail immediately caught investigators' attention. The vehicle description matched information already circulating among police, creating a crucial link between the two cases. The Melissa attack suggested a pattern of behavior and helped investigators focus on a suspect who was becoming impossible to ignore. As investigators followed leads from the parallel attack and the crime scene, attention turned to a vehicle linked to Jessie Blodgett's disappearance. The dark blue Dodge Caravan was registered under the name of Jessie's parents. This discovery narrowed the focus to a key individual, 19-year-old Daniel Bartelt, Jessie's ex-boyfriend. Daniel had been present at Jessie's memorial, an unusual and suspicious detail. When police arrived to question him, he reportedly answered without hesitation but provided no clear explanation, heightening the sense of suspense and uncertainty surrounding his involvement. Daniel and Jessie shared a history that began in high school, bonded over music and theater, and developed into a romantic relationship. Friends described their connection as close and creative, but the relationship eventually ended because Jessie wanted to remain single and independent. Daniel, on the other hand, struggled emotionally. He was reportedly unstable, had dropped out of college, and found it difficult to cope with the breakup. Despite the end of their romance, he remained close to Jessie, often trying to maintain contact and proximity. During questioning, Daniel Bartelt eventually confessed to the Melissa attack, admitting a bizarre and disturbing motive: "I wanted to scare someone." This confession shocked investigators, as it revealed not just violent tendencies but also an escalating pattern of behavior. During the interrogation, Daniel self-incriminated further, mentioning aspects of Jessie Blodgett's assault that were previously unknown to the public, including sexual assault details. These revelations were crucial, providing police with insights into both his mindset and the severity of his actions. Investigators recovered key physical evidence from nearby park bins: rope, tape, and bloody tissues. DNA testing confirmed the presence of Jessie Blodgett and Daniel Bartelt, including DNA found under Jessie's fingernails, indicating a struggle. Digital evidence was equally damning. Daniel's laptop contained searches on strangulation, rape videos, and murder staging, alongside fictional writing that eerily mirrored the actual crime. This combination of physical, forensic, and digital evidence built a compelling case, linking Daniel directly to Jesse's murder and revealing premeditation, escalation, and disturbing intent. Investigators pieced together the horrifying events of Jesse Blodgett's final moments. After her parents had left the home, Daniel Bartelt gained entry and brought with him a murder kit that he restrained Jesse in a hog-tie position, applied a gag, and committed sexual assault. Using rope, he strangled her, ending her life. Afterwards, he washed and staged the body, attempting to conceal evidence. The reconstruction, based on physical, forensic, and digital evidence, provided a clear, singular explanation of the crime without repetition, showing the calculated and premeditated nature of the attack. Daniel Bartelt faced first-degree intentional homicide charges. During the trial, his defense arguments were rejected, and after only 3 hours of jury deliberation, he was found guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and subsequent appeals were denied, confirming the conviction. At sentencing, Daniel gave a confusing and incoherent speech, offering little remorse. In contrast, Jesse's father delivered a powerful statement: "You are forgiven, but tell the truth." His words emphasized accountability and the importance of honesty, even amidst grief. Jesse's memory inspired a community vigil attended by over 500 people. Her family established a non-profit organization focused on awareness of violence against women. Through these efforts, Jesse's mission lives on, reminding the world that love, advocacy, and vigilance can outshine hate. Jesse Blodgett's story ends not with tragedy alone, but with a vision of hope and resilience. Her life reminds us that love can triumph over hate, even in the face of unimaginable violence. During the sentencing, her father's words resonated with all present. Her strength lives on. They embody the enduring impact of Jesse's spirit, inspiring awareness and action against violence. Let her courage guide us. Like, share, and subscribe to honor Jesse's legacy, support victims of abuse, and ensure her mission continues, proving that even in darkness, strength and love shine brightest.